Hey guys, my name is Josh Smith. I'm president of Montana Knife Company, and I'm here with my friend Tyr Simak from Black Rifle Coffee. He has a career as a medic in the military, and so that's why I'm asking him to demonstrate this stuff, because I frankly don't know what I am talking about. So we have our medical kits, our IFAK, and we have been going over each individual piece. And if you want to see the other videos on the other pieces, please click through on our YouTube and find those. But today we are covering our chest seal portion of that, which is the R in March, which is the respiratory system. How am I doing?
Great.
I'm starting to sound like an expert.
Yeah.
So we have massive hemorrhage, we have airway, and now respiratory. So I'm going to ask Tyr here to demonstrate and kind of talk about why we should have this chest seal in a pack. It's interesting when we put these packs together, we kind of call these the bare minimum pack. But these are some things that I would personally never have bought or ordered online with no other knowledge as to what they're for or why. So you can throw away and get rid of a bunch of kind of the useless little things that potentially are in your pack, cut down some weight and replace those with a few things that are actually maybe more life-saving or appropriate for that situation. That being said, they're the bare minimum pack. So feel free to add things that you need in your pack, whether it's ibuprofen or prescription medicine or an EpiPen, survival fire type making stuff, all that. So tell us about the chest seal.
Okay, so we've worked through M, massive hemorrhage, A, airway, and now we're in R in March. And we're talking about respiration. We're not talking about breathing out of our mouth or our nose. We're talking about the exchange of air in our lungs. So anything we're treating in R is what we refer to as the box, from here to here. Stops at the belly button. Okay. Any injury in here, we're less worried about bleeding. We're more worried about punctures in our air sacs. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I covered this in the previous video, but our lung cavities work off a negative pressure system. So we are able to inflate our lungs because there's less pressure around our lungs than the atmospheric pressure around here. If it was equal or greater to, we'd have a really hard time inflating those balloons, which are our lungs. When we have a puncture wound here, which could be a stick, a bullet, an arrow, you name it, anything that actually punctures the lung cavity, that creates a vacuum. And when the air will start coming in that hole instead of our mouth hole. Mm-hmm. When that pressure equalizes or becomes greater than, we can no longer fill that lung, we can no longer inflate that lung, which can create a fatality. Not only from the air exchange, but also because the pressure can start to build up and actually push the heart over, which can kink off an artery, and now you're in serious shit. Yeah. So how do we fix that? The first step is finding the hole and sealing that hole, just like you would in a raft. And in your individual first aid kit, you have a dressing made specifically for that. Again, this isn't for bleeding, this is to make an airtight seal. We have a Hyfin Vent Chest Seal, and there's two of these. You can see it same each way, and because I don't think you'll have YouTube access wherever it is you need to use this, there's instructions on the back, so please refer to that in case of emergency. The Hyfin Chest Seal, the instructions for this are find the wound, wipe it clean real quick, and place the vent on the wound. It really is that simple.
Do you want me to take my shirt off?
I would love for you to take your shirt off because I know the joy that it would bring me to put this on top of your chest hair.
Yeah.
The adhesive material on a Hyfin Vent is, it was inspired by hydrogel, which is a substance that SWAT and commando units use to adhere breaching charges to walls and doors. So so you know it's good.
Taking this off could be a whole nother viral video.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know, maybe you've got somebody in your staff that you want to do that?
I think we're good because, yeah. So, I mean, the thing about this is it's pretty easy to think about the fact that like a situation where you would actually potentially puncture into your lungs. I don't know how many of you have fallen down while hunting, but pretty much all of us. If you walk in the mountains, you walk on ice, whatever, you know, a lot of times as we're walking through the woods, we're walking on top of logs trying to get through with all the blow down timber. You know, and any other situation, obviously if there's, you know, most people aren't going to be shot in the woods, but I mean, obviously that's a I guess, a potential, but more likely falling out of a tree stand, falling on a stick, even potentially somehow getting, jabbed by your own arrow, with a tree stand type accident. You just never know. So being able to seal that off and then get to the next level of care and keep that lung inflated is critically important.
We've got our penetrating chest trauma, as demonstrated on this beef rump roast. There's a hole here. This is to simulate a hole anywhere from the neck to the belly button, and we need to seal it. We've got our Hyfin chest seal. There's 2 of them with instructions on the back. Now, since I have an extra set of hands here and I'm opening this up and I'm probably reading the instructions and I've got a hole in this chest cavity that air is currently seeping into, I'm going to have my medical assistant, Sadie, slap her hand over that wound. That's all she has to do. Just slap that. There it is. All right, so I've opened up my package. I'm looking at the instructions again real quick. And when I open this up, it's all nice and gooey. There's a piece of gauze right here. And we've got a red tab. Those are both important. This gauze is to wipe the wound clean because we want to wipe as much dirt, blood, whatever, away from that wound before we put our chest seal on there. You notice on this chest seal, there are channels. Those are vents. That's so that air can escape the wound. All right, go ahead and take your hand off. And I'm gonna wipe, wipe, wipe. Good. Get that off my hand. Pull the red tab. We don't need that. And we're going to center it over the wound. So we've got the middle of the dressing with those vents. I'm going to put that centered directly over the wound, make sure the edges are sealed, and it really is that simple.